there's a saying that's just been invented. Don't ever try to bullshit Maurice Galway because he'll call you a bluff. And basically he was talking about the film festival, and I said, hey, you know, we don't need your film festival because we have our own one up on the hill in the bog. And he said, hey, that's a good venue. Ella, come on. And sit.
Yeah, so we're sitting inside a polytunnel. Can you tell us what they're usually used for?
Well, these polytunnels are, they're usually used for protective cropping, which means we grow the stuff here, especially on the west coast of Ireland, that you can't grow outside, or it's more difficult to grow outside. And then, of course, because of the training we do and the teaching, we also encourage people to leave space in them for leisure, because we're so often not able to go outside. They're excellent halfway house between indoors and outdoors, if you like. So this tunnel was built and funded by Partnership Tralee for training, essentially. And we used to grow some crops in it, but bit by bit we've had more and more people in the tunnel, so we have less and less crops in this particular tunnel, and the crops are grown in the tunnels next door and out the field over. So that's it really. We use this tunnel for a variety of events then, like friends' weddings, barbecues, and now we're into film. Well, I was sort of mentioning to Maurice that, you know, you can have illicit films. We don't need to go to a film festival or a cinema anymore. We can have illicit films up on the hill with our mates, and that we've got an old sheet hanging from the polytunnel, and we've got a digital projector that is used for our training programs, and we can just slap in the laptop and the digital and the sheet, and there we have a cinema on the top of a hill. And he says, well, why don't you use it as part of a film festival? So it went from there really. I really thought he was joking, but he's not one to joke, obviously. And here we are. In 10 days' time, this will be featuring talking heads stop making sense. So it'll be a bit of fun anyway. We'll start with the strimmer, and then we'll just drag in the chairs and sort everything out, tidy the place, and that's it. Just pray the machines work on the night. I mean, hopefully the weather won't be too off-putting, but the tunnel's an interesting place in bad weather, so if people have the sense of adventure, then I'd say they'll end up on the top of the hill that night, and it could be a good laugh. Whether we might, if we're organised, like to all the night lights along the sides of the tunnels and stuff, and they all reflect at night off the top. It's quite sort of almost a spectacular venue. It's interesting. It's because it's quite experimental, you know, in the sense of if we have a gale, it gets incredibly noisy in here and things. So it'll be interesting to see how it works. But as I say, we've had a lot of events here, so and the sort of the polytunnel adds, if anything, it adds character to the party, you know. So I hope it's a party, you know, the way, rather than just a dull, like we come in, sit down watching. But it's a music film anyway, so if everyone's up bopping, that would be better than sitting. Not quite up to the Spiegel tent, but something like it.